Ooh, man, that sun is bright. It's a chilly morning out here. And today what I'm going to talk to you about is converting. What happens if you have like a pump house like we do that only has a 220? That's it. It has a 220 and nothing else. So if you go to YouTube or Google and start Googling convert a 220 to a 110, there's only two options. There's really only one option that's I think I've found on there, and that is to go back to your power box and convert back at your main breaker box and convert a line. Well, I can't do that because I have, oh gosh, what is that? Over 100 yards of wire, of 220 wire coming up all the way here, and we only have 220, and I didn't want to do that in the box. So what we're doing today, what I've learned is you can get a mini transformer, and that's what we're putting in today. So I'm going to walk over here real quick and I'll just show you what it looks like. It's just a small box, but it will convert a 220 into a 110. Understand, I'll say this in a minute, but a 220 is basically two 110 lines with no neutral wire inside of it. And you have to have that neutral to have that 110. Let me just show you. I think he had a transformer that was smaller that was going to pull like 5 amps, and I told him to bump it up for another 50 bucks. These things aren't cheap. These things run you probably 400 or 500 bucks for these little mini transformers. The reason why I'm putting this up here is we have a UV filter for our filtration system. We're putting our filtration system up here, and I wouldn't mind having like a small little LED light bulb in here. Okay, so basically a 220 is two 110 lines. Am I saying that right? Yes. Two 110 lines with no neutral, so you have to have a neutral for a 110. We have to install an actual transformer out here. Now we're only going to be able to pull 10 amps. I think it's 10 amps he went up to. He's actually going to tie into the 220 line here. We're installing an actual small mini transformer out here, and now we'll have a 110. We'll have actually a 110 outlet here with a neutral wire on it. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, you're gonna want to. So this is the Farmhouse project. This was an abandoned property that was absolutely nasty. It was horrible. So we're getting close to the completion of it, and I'm really happy with it. So the main structure was here, that was existing, and then we added on this whole sunroom over here. That used to be the front of the house, and we're flipping the house around because we want to look at this all day. We have a nice 3-acre pond, so why not look at the 3-acre pond all day? So this is the new sunroom, and we're getting ready to I'm getting ready to shoot another video on, we're going to do some veneer on here. But the veneer we're going to use is not your typical veneer. Most people will put like a gray stone up there, and I won't, because we're going with kind of a farmhouse sort of craftsman theme. This is the color that we're going with here. Has a lot of browns and bronzes in it, and it ties so nicely into this whole house. If you didn't see the underskirting, my contractor basically built this deck up to here. We came in here and I wanted something big and blocky under here, you know, not lattice. And this is different. So we added a 4x4 and a 4x4, and then these are 1x4s down below. And then we got to add the stairs, obviously. So I'm really liking how that turned out. Okay, so the guys are all done. Let me show you what the finished product looks like. Again, they tied into the 220 down here. They ran conduit up here. I don't know what that box is. This is your transformer. That's just a junction on it. And then they ran conduit over here, and I have a GFCI. 110 over here now. Got it? Now, the amps on this is not going to be a regular ampage, so probably I think it's like 10 amps. So if you're going to run something like real power equipment, this is for a UV filter, for LED strip light, for light stuff like that. And that's all we really needed out here. Okay, so I want to emphasize this again. This is not a situation where I'm inside the house and I've got a 220 and I just want to convert that 220 outlet to a 120 and just go back to my box. That's not what this is. This is a situation where you have a well pump or a barn and you have a long 220 line and you still need that 220, but you want to pull off that 220 and add a 110 receptacle. You got that? So this is a different situation than just converting. We have 220 and we need 220. We want to leave 220, but at the same time, we want to jump off that 220 and have a 110 regular plug-in outlet. It's a different situation. This is not a do-it-yourself project. You need to hire an electrician, have them do it. The wiring is special. Everything is special about this. Don't touch it. Have them do it. That's it. We've got an update for you coming. Talk to you later. Doc.